Yes, welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions News. It's your Friday edition of the news. Thank God it's Friday. We're all looking forward to a lovely, relaxing weekend, unless you're intensively grinding out for Nick Fury, in which case I say good luck to you. As I am doing, hopefully see you in the stream later on for more grinding of that particular arena. But without further ado, let's jump into those stories. Our first story begins with a visual bug. Now you might be thinking to yourself, this looks very painful, and to some players it is. Now there's so many devices playing Marvel Contest of Champions, from Android to iOS devices and even some weird ass ones. But the fact is, this is pretty darn frustrating. And obviously the typical IT method of sorting things out is turn it off, try to turn it on again, uninstall it, try reinstalling it again, and it might work. But this seems to be something that's very specific to certain devices. In particular, this story is about Samsung JR. The Samsung JR was actually a device in 2018, and you kind of think it should be a device that, at least for an Android perspective, would have at least 1, maybe 2 years, maybe even 3 years worth of usage. So it'd be kind of weird to see that just within not even a year that the phone doesn't really run Marvel Contest of Champions. In any case, if you've received a bug like this when you've been playing, do try the uninstall reinstall method or do a support ticket to Kabam. But unfortunately, maybe a case you might have to look elsewhere for a device in order to play MCOC in the future. Next up, and there's been a lot of complaints on the subject of Kingpin. If you're not familiar with Kingpin, especially when it comes to him being the week 3 big boss for the recon initiatives, then obviously you'll have experience in Alliance Quest. Some people do, some people are the boss killer, some people may not be, but it's fair to say you may have got a lot of experience with this character. But it does seem that there's a lot of complaints of the fact of his huge health pool, which, as we discussed and as you came to my stream on Wednesday, you'll know it is a bit annoying, but you either are kind of able to understand the way the champion works, able to understand the nodes that are on that particular champion to make it more easy for yourself. Either way, people aren't really happy. And it's all well and good to assume that everybody has the same champions you do, and it's like, okay, I use this champion. What was it? Stark Spidey. What did I use? Stark Spidey. However, though, I must say, I did use Venom and took a large chunk of health away from Kingpin, so that was something positive to see. And most of the time, I was trying to use my 4-star versions. Somebody said in the live chat, oh, could you use your 4-star Stark Spidey just to kind of like see how that would work? And you know, that still worked. It was viable. I think I ended up taking a good chunk of Kingpin's health. I'll leave a link to that stream in the description below if you want to go across and watch that. My method of doing it was not really to everybody's taste, but as I always say, if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. And the fact is, what I was trying to do is avoid doing the heavy attack method because I was worried about timing. I've got some issues with devices and the way they work with beaming them onto through OBS and kind of the way that the phone's tethered. Sometimes it doesn't really kind of respond too well to that, but when I'm off stream and say I'm not streaming and playing, it seems to be fine. It's kind of weird. So I was doing dexterity and we could see dexterity is pinging up, but the character wouldn't go backwards. So again, whatever. But the fact is, I was trying to push the champion past their L1, and then it's a case of like they would do the L1, I then build them up again, and then they do the L1, build them up again, do a special attack, build them past the L1. So just keeping him constantly to that L1, which I've done loads of Alliance Quest with map 6, map 5. So I've got my experience with taking down that boss. So keeping it to the L1 is the best method for this. And yes, you could use the heavy attack method. Yes, you could be really understanding the nodes. And yes, you could be using a champion like Carnage, Venom. But I stuck to using the 4-star Stark Spidey, and I did indeed use a 4-star Venom. Also, I had some good luck with a 6-star Green Goblin, but the problem is if you're power locking or power draining, you're really kind of taking away the aspect of building it past the L1 for then swiping back and getting away from it. But obviously it's understandable not everybody have strong champions or strong damage output champions. There's some decent Spider-Verse champions to use. As I said, you know, I used Stark Spidey, Venom, had kind of good luck with Green Goblin, but mainly it was a case of pushing it to L2 with Green Goblin and hitting out. But it was all about keeping to the L1, and then it's a case of then evading away from that. But like everyone's saying, if you've got Alliance Quest boss killing experience, then this should be absolutely fine for you. Next up, we've got an update on the Alliance Quest compensation situation. So go back like a hell of a lot of weeks, and the fact is people were getting double, sometimes like triple Alliance Quest rewards. So maybe people got a lot more glory than others, and at the time it was a case of going like, well, what should we really do about this? And Kabam's answer is that they're not going to do anything about it. Kabam might goes a little bit further to kind of talk about this and saying that not everybody can be found that potentially got these double rewards. So obviously not going to go any further with it. Now, it's kind of weird thinking about that. From my perspective, looking at this, I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter too much to me if it's someone right at the very bottom, like say someone that's, you know, instead of getting about 500 glory, now they've got 1,000 glory. You know, that I don't mind so much. But when it comes to like somebody that's in my threshold that is now going to get an extensive amount of glory, then I kind of get bothered by that. So in a sense, that's saying we all should be a little bit annoyed and trying to pinpoint who exactly it is. I know they're saying it's difficult, but wouldn't you be able to see the extensive glory that's now being put into people's accounts? So say at the moment I've got 4,000 glory. So technically if I had 8,000 glory, all of a sudden, like, where did that extra 4,000 glory come from? You're kind of going, right, well you'd be able to pinpoint that, wouldn't you? Apparently not. So yeah, a little bit disappointing for those that are really concerned about this. Next up, and there's a debate that's going on about Stark Spidey. So this is a nice little community post where people discuss Stark Spidey in the fact that obviously he was the big damage dealer, the kind of the epic damage dealer of the last few years. And the fact is, do you regret putting him up to the highest rank? Whether or not you 565 him, whether or not you 550 him, and maybe at a later date we could get some sort of 6-star version. But the chances are very slim of that. However though, what are your thoughts on him now? How do you feel that he is benefiting your roster? Do you still use him? This is a nice little discussion here. And now for a new section that I'd like to call Rich's Crotch Shot of the Week. Ooh, Rich's Crotch Shot of the Week. In other news, are you running out of gold? I don't know why I've turned into some sort of advertisement now, but in all seriousness, gold. A problem at the moment for a lot of people. For myself, yeah, it does happen. As I'm doing a lot more arena grinding, it isn't so bad, but it is a case that I do run out of it a lot more quickly, especially when I'm considering that I've got 6 stars to level up and also a lot of 5 stars that I'm ranking up as well, with obviously Act 6.1 being about non-4-star participation. You're like, right, well, all the gold is going towards the 5 stars, so that is what I'm doing at the moment. And for a lot of players, it does seem the same. Obviously, there's a good majority of people that do feel the same, but it's a minority of people that do feel that it's absolutely fine, and there's a percentage that don't give a flying fudge. But the fact is, we're going to a point where I think we're going to need some sort of gold-based arena or some sort of regular gold realm, and it's something that Kabam should really consider doing in the future. I don't know why they haven't considered it. Just to put it in like once a week, maybe even a case of saying once a month. That would be enough for me to say, yes, that's fine. Maybe put it on a rotational thing, the same way they do the Catalyst Clash arenas. That would be cool as well to consider they could do something like that. So it doesn't have to be there all the time, but still enough to make us go, okay, this is cool. We can get some gold quickly, and we don't feel that we have to extensively grind out in other areas. And it does kind of take away from the idea of going, oh yeah, gold, well, just do arena. And it's like, no, I don't really want to go down that route. I'm all about questing. So hopefully Kabam can meet us in the middle with this in the future. Next up, an update to an old story, and that is the Tier 5 class Catalyst offer. Now, as you remember before, it was the case Kabam put the wrong amount of fragments out in this deal, and as a result, Kabam needed to take back this. And we're waiting for some answers. And today, unfortunately, well, yesterday, the answers are in, and it isn't exactly brilliant. There's some players that have made a few critical remarks on the way that Kabam have done this, and also stuff that have been taken but not given back. Kabam might confirm yesterday that the process of eliminating and taking away those particular materials and refunding the units is in process. Mike said that there would be units refunded on the day, so the 20th of March. Unfortunately, it looks like some people have said that they haven't indeed received those units. Some people pointing to more of a financial refund, and others saying that they haven't indeed received their units. But either way, it does leave some very much salt in the mouth when thinking about the way that this actually went down. And if you have any thoughts on this, the forum post is still live. Link is in the description if you want to go and have your say. If it does get closed down, then have your say in the comment section below. And for our final story, and to leave you on a bit of a laugh. So, dungeons. We all love dungeons, something I really can't get enough of. Now, if I do dungeons, it's be a bloody miracle. But the fact is, yeah, look at this. Like, seem fine? No, you've probably noticed, as well as I did, right on the far left-hand corner, there's 2 people on that particular lane. Now, you might think, right, okay, someone's just being a bit silly. But no, this is where it gets funny. I'll follow you. We'll preserve life if we follow each other. This isn't a bloody zombie apocalypse. It's dungeons. So I like the person even said, "Are you joking? Is this a joke? Are you for real?" Man, it's like random link ups for dungeons is always kind of fraught with kind of dangers. It's always important to kind of build a rapport with a buddy. I know I should really kind of get back to kind of grinding out dungeons and and kind of continue with my buddy scheme, especially with like the friendship stuff. So yeah, it's funny. So there we have it, that has been the news. If you enjoyed today's news, hit the like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. Make sure, as always, to come by to the live stream later on. We do a little bit of MCOC for the Nick Fury grind, and then I'll be hopefully doing some PUBG Mobile, and also got PUBG Mobile video come out today. But the fact is, I've launched a merch store as well for a limited time only, for about 12 days. I'm going to be selling some kind of merch. I've got some old images that I want to kind of like utilize for merchandise, and some other ones I'm designing for future stuff as well through Streamlabs. So a link in the description, it says buy merch, it will take you to there. If it's all kosher, it all works fine. It's just the case that it's done through there rather than a company like Teespring. And also, when you come to a live stream, it does ping up with you've purchased it. So if you do want to wait till later on, then I'll see you at 1900 hours GMT. And if anybody wants to purchase, you're quite welcome to. But it's a very limited run. And if anything, people get interested with it, I will continue on. But in any case, thanks so much for watching. I've been RichTheMan. Like, share, and subscribe. And just catch you in the next one. Bye for now.